Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look at Sandbox and see what's going on here today, and obviously find out if the bottom is in, because obviously, Bitcoin sold off a good 9% in a 24-hour period, so we need to see kind of where we're at with that. Now, normally we'll look at Bitcoin, but I can tell you it's trending right around 47,500, right in that range there. And it bounced essentially off the 200-day simple moving average so far. So we're waiting for the one-day candlestick to close, kind of see what's in there. But for the most part, it feels like it shouldn't go much lower at this point. It's kind of starting to stabilize, and we should be in the clear. Again, a little too early to tell, but it feels okay so far, right? It's a standard correction. What happens all the time. Now, if you're new to the channel, just so you know, I'm not a financial advisor. I love teaching people how to trade, and this is for educational purposes, but again, I'm passionate about this. I do this every single day for a living, and I can tell you that it's very doable, very manageable. And if you need help, or perhaps you want to work with me a little bit more directly, I have a trading community designed with that specific purpose. We're also rolling out with a trading academy next month with a series of videos to help you start to finish become a better trader. So check that out in your own time, of course, but new slots will become available as of January 1st. For right now, we have maximum occupancy, and we kind of just close the doors near the end of the month as per usual. So looking at Sandbox here, what we want to kind of look at some of the obvious indicators. Now, the 50-day simple moving average is working its way up. That's not really important for the moment, but if the price does come any lower, it could work as a strong support. It's notoriously a pretty strong support level, but a lot of moving averages are a little off kilter for the most part, based on the fact that Sandbox increased very fast, very quick, and it took a while for those 50 days to catch up, right? That average is essentially averaging itself out, and for lack of better terms, $5.20 is where it's at presently, and the price action's at 580 plus or minus. So we're looking pretty good there. We're also really good in the RSI, whereas the price is actually staying above 50, and 50 on the RSI can notoriously work as a support level, so that is a very good sign there. So it just means we're still considered bullish over bearish. Even though we have a bearish divergence occurring here, so to speak, with the MACD, that should and could very well reverse and see a bounce to the upside. Again, a lot of factors are involved, right? Bitcoin decides it wants to drop to 40,000 tomorrow, every single altcoin will be damaged. There's no other way around it. But for the most part, you can just tell that Sandbox is actually doing very well. It isn't quite as down as most other coins, and you can see that it's working really strong as a support level here at about 578. So I do feel like the bottom is in here for the moment, because that is a really strong support level. Most coins lost their key level supports and are trending downwards even still. But Sandbox seems to be doing mostly sideways action here in the last 24 hours, which is fantastic. Okay, so even when Bitcoin is kind of screwing around, you can see Sandbox is doing okay. All right, so all the stuff there. RSI is under 50 for the 4 hour. That's pretty standard with this kind of correction. We want to get back up over 50, of course, to be considered a little more bullish on the midterm, but we're not in bad shape by any means. We also have a potential for MACD in the next couple of days, where, of course, the convergence could occur, where the 12-day intersects with a 26 exponential moving average in upward fashion. That's always a good sign to go long. It's a little premature at the moment, so I recommend, of course, as per usual, dollar cost average at this time. Don't buy what you feel is the bottom and go all in. Set some money aside in other coins. A smart investor, again, we are investing, we're not gambling. A smart investor will invest smaller percentages into different portfolios, or different coins rather, to diversify their portfolio to ensure that they receive maximum benefit, because all your eggs in one basket can be very, very risky. Okay, try not to do that. Again, easier said than done. I recognize that when you got a coin that you really truly love. There's nothing wrong with a decent percent of your portfolio, but not all. Okay, so looking at the 1 hour chart, Ichimoku Cloud, we can see we are intersecting with the price action here, so any potential short position should be essentially closed. Doesn't mean you have to open a long position to the upside. It just means that the likelihood of a reversal is pretty high, and the fact that we don't have any indications of a sell signal. In other words, we don't want to go open a short position at this point, because that door is effectively closed. So take what you will from that. But for me, I prefer to wait for confirmation. So we want the price back above the cloud, right? Check number 1, get that up above the cloud. Check number 2 is to essentially have the lagging span be free and clear of any price action. That'd be check number 2. And of course, this conversion line needs to be back above the baseline. So 3, all good things there, of course. Now, I explain how the Ichimoku Cloud works in my other videos, so feel free to reference that, of course, in your own time. I have instructional videos on how to understand some of the indicators that I use, and actually how to set them up exactly the way that I use them. So if that is a benefit for you, check that out, of course. But Cloud is essentially just telling us we don't have a buy signal just yet, but a short signal should be closed, or a short trade should be closed. Now, TD sequential doesn't tell us much here, but I think if we look at the 4 hour, we see somewhat of an exhaustive state. You can see, of course, here, a lot of coins doing this right now as well, where you got the price coming down, hitting a 9, and then, of course, we got this extreme overtime. In other words, we shouldn't expect Sandbox to come much lower because it's at this exhaustive state where we need to expect some consolidation or likely a push to the upside in the near future. But the key takeaway here is we want to start making higher highs and higher lows, right? So we need the price to kind of continue to work its way up the channel, because any lower lows and lower highs are going to be, I wouldn't say detrimental, but there's no confirmation in that, right? Confirmation relies on consistency in the right direction. And we need to get in the right direction here, which is basically taking those lower lows and replacing them with higher lows, right? And higher highs, etc. We need to get some type of consistency to the upside. That's why, a lot of this stuff happened recently. Like these two increases, these two legs up, where we did see higher highs and higher lows. That was because Bitcoin was recovering and doing the same thing. Okay. Now, not to say Sandbox is completely synonymous with Bitcoin. It's actually doing very well outside of Bitcoin. In other words, it dipped, of course, because what happened with that. But the key takeaway here is we're holding key level supports. Most other coins are not. So I do feel like Sandbox is doing much better in recovery, and that there's a stronger likelihood of it bouncing back faster than most other coins. So I'm still bullish on Sandbox in the big picture here, short term and long term. Honestly, I really think we're still looking good. We just need to see a little more consolidation from Bitcoin, some kind of stability, and then we'll see coins like this start to increase again. So just continue to dollar cost average. Make sure you're in a place where you actually, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I know I say that a lot, but ensure you do that. And obviously just be careful when, smart with your money, right? This is an investment. This isn't just throwing caution to the wind. You can't do that in crypto. It'll bite you in the butt. And I'm sure you've probably seen that a few times already this year with some of the dramatic decreases in Bitcoin and the knee-jerk reactions from altcoins. So to summarize, Sandbox is in good shape. I think dollar cost average is the best approach right now until we have confirmation that we're getting higher highs and higher lows. We'll take another look at this here soon. Thank you so much for your time. If you're not currently a member, consider subscribing. First of the month is available slots there for my community. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again. We'll see you soon. Take care.